So we are seeing more consumer devices in the field, in rugged environments and in front of house environments. I think we're seeing that because the user adoption is just so easy. We have people that are using these same devices at their home. They're familiar with how to navigate through them, and so getting one in the hands of a user and getting that uptime going just is simple. It makes sense. What we are also seeing, however, is the durability aspect come into play. So those devices aren't purpose-built and don't have that rugged nature to them. So there are application specific where a more rugged device would apply. So the manufacturers that have been creating these rugged devices that we've been using, they have seen and been out front of the demand, right? The intuitive nature of those devices, being able to have an all-touch screen and be able to reduce the size. The key for them is keeping those devices rugged, and they've really invested the R&D into making the devices that are ideal for users but still rugged enough for the environment. So we've seen a shrinkage of the physical footprint of devices that have really come down to fit the user needs for a lot of field workers and a lot of engagements. Consumer devices don't have the same life expectancy as rugged. That's why they're called consumer. Those rugged devices have been invested in, the durability, and that's really the main point of them. When looking at a total cost of ownership, a consumer device off the shelf versus a rugged device off the shelf is significantly less. But when looking at the durability aspect and the support aspect and looking at the life expectancy of that device and the support offered from the manufacturers, it really makes you look at the total cost of ownership from a complete install base. When a consumer grade device is paired with the accessories needed to make it a semi-rugged device, the total cost of that device does go up. As well as it does create another point of failure when it comes to that attachment or the Bluetooth connection to the other accessories. From a positive side, the user experience does stay the same, right? Those users know how to use those devices. By putting a case on it, it still keeps the form factor small. They can still maneuver it. They're used to handling that, and they can still move through that device just like they were at home. So the adoption rate is still pretty high, and getting that device up and running in the field is still very effective. So when evaluating what device is ideal for your environment, I think it's important to look at what the application really is. We need to find out if the environment dictates that it needs to be rugged or semi-rugged or completely waterproof, or if it's something that's going to be handheld and treated like their personal device. I think another thing to take into account is if that device is going to be used for both business and personal use, because that's going to dictate again which device the customer is most or end user is most comfortable using. At Main Street, our goal is to find the ideal device that will function in the environment that our customers need it to function in, fulfilling the business need that they're really after. Deployment strategies don't really change whether it's rugged or semi-rugged or consumer. With the MDM tools and the deployment tools that are out there, you can configure devices in large quantities and you can plan to get them out. I think that the only thing to take into account is the user adoption. If it's a new device with new buttons and new places and a new application, that tends to affect the rollout timeline. Just because your environment, the effect that would have on your field worker. So the support model does vary between consumer and rugged, with the life cycle of a rugged device being between 6 to 8 years. You're looking at trying to extend that. You're trying to use the analytics to keep that device as healthy for as long as possible. With a consumer device that's bought at such a low cost, that the implementation and the repair process is kind of limited. You really need to get that device through the Q&A process as quickly as possible and get it replaced and get the field up and running again.